What do Lean Six Sigma professionals, what do change agents need to know about converting reluctant company executives to support Lean Six Sigma?
You got to. The only thing I can tell you is you got to try. You try. If you can get them into a meeting, there's a lot of simple simulations you can do out there. There's a stupid thing out there called the beer game. If you can get people to play it,
The beer game.
yeah, the beer game. It was something out of Harvard in the '60s. It's go look online.
Okay.
But it's a simulation of supply chain, and one of the things that's still common in 2012 is we have SAP systems, not SAP. We have MRP systems that can do fairly accurate predictions, and we should be working on making those predictions more accurate, but most people work on second guessing the system. We have systems from people like Walmart can go 3 or 4 layers deep in the supply chain if we let them. Most companies will stop it at the first level. They feed it, I won't pick on any companies here, but Walmart feeds the company to their major suppliers. Quite often inside that major supplier, people don't even understand what the Walmart data is. But they give consumption data on a daily basis. I think they give it on a real-time basis these days. You can understand those kind of things, but people choose not to share it. They choose instead to rely on antiquated MRP systems to make your best prediction based on the data given to them, and then we second guess them. And I would tell you that my experience is that if you just let the systems follow the system, what the system says, you probably would improve immediately. But man, I don't know. How do you stop that kind of thinking? How do you stop that kind of belief that we've got all these systems that are based on good models, and the work should be on improving the model, refining and improving the model, not on second guessing it? It seems to be rampant in industry in 2012. How do you stop that kind of thing?
Yeah.
And it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, because most people have been taught this is, we use words like optimized. I look at the MRP output, and we have this optimized Excel program over here that does, it's how do you change that kind of thinking, get people to see, and I don't think there's any magic answer, but you got to try. If you can get them in simple simulations, if you can get them to say, trust me long enough to go work in your process and show you what could be, right? But I don't think there's a magic answer there. You've got to work them, you got to work them, you got to work them, you got to work them. And if you've got an absolutely wrong person in an organization, you've also got to work on seeing if they can be at least put aside. And that's a harsh thing to say, but the wrong leadership destroys any of this stuff and will prevent learning from happening. But you got to try. You got to engage every opportunity you have to have a conversation with these folks. And again, people that know me know that my natural inclination is not to be sociable and not to be chit-chatty. When there's a guy like that out there or a lady like that out there, I try to engage them, and we try to get into a rational conversation. And if nothing else, I say, can I just show you, can you give me 4 hours with your staff? We'll play a game. And if I can get that, usually if we can get them there, they come out with, and try it sometimes, beer game.
Yeah.
If you can get people to play it, what you learn is, it doesn't matter if there's not communication going along a supply chain where there's disruptions in the process, where people hold information and second guess information. You can't.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
People have to understand that. People have to still read the goal. The goal is still right, and people, even in this day and age, haven't read the goal.
Yeah.
There's a book out there called Adhocracy that's been out there since the early 90s as well, that basically describes that modern organizations has to have 2 organizations. One is the bureaucracy, and it's not this thing we cuss and say bad things about. It is the habit of the organization. You got to have the habit.
Yeah.
But you also have to have this ad hoc piece that we allow people to extract a piece of our process that's not running the way we want it to, and actually go make change on it. Not to go study it, but to go make change on it. And people have to be given permission to go do that. And it can't be go study it for a while and come back to me and I'll tell you whether you can do something with it or not. You got to trust your people enough to let them go do it.
Yeah.
You got to have those kind of things. And until you can get people to see those kind of things, you don't get far with them, but you just keep on trying and keep on trying and keep on trying. And you'd be amazed how many converts you can get. You'd be amazed how many people can be stubborn about it.